Hi, so for this video I'm going to be talking about what I think are some of the causes to anorexia. I know a lot of people requested videos to do with anorexia and bulimia. I will do one on bulimia. I just don't want to address them both in the same video because I don't think that the information will be as clear, sort of thing. But I will do a separate one because that is highly requested as well. But I'm just going to start off with anorexia because I don't know, I just don't think people talk about it as much as they should. So I'm not going to talk about anorexia as a whole. I'm going to talk about what I think causes it and what I think triggers it, etc. If you don't agree with like what I have to say, then just don't watch the video. It's not professional or anything, it's just like my personal view on it and what I think has a huge role in causing anorexia. Right, so the first one I think, which is quite obvious, is being a teenage girl. There's so many worry in their minds during school. There'll always be skinny girls, pretty girls, and girls sort of like have this desirable image they want to look like. Like they want to be stick thin, they don't want any meat on their bones, they just want bones, bones, bones. And I don't know why this starts off. I think it's just because everyone has really strong hormones at that age and they come to a place and it's just full of different kinds of people. There's bigger people, there's slim people, and then there's really slim people. And I just think a lot of girls set up this like target that's not going to happen for them. Like they'll look at a girl who's like stick thin and they'll think, oh, I want to look like her. But they don't really think about like maybe that girl is just that way naturally. Maybe she doesn't not eat to look at that image. And it's just, they create like a desirable image that's just like they're not going to achieve. Because some people just physically can't lose any more weight. I hear a lot about girls who are like, I want to go down to 6 stone and stuff like that, and they're like, and you're not, and I'm just like, no, that's not going to work because you're going to die. Like, to be honest, you can't get down to 6 stone. If you're 8 stone now and you're tall, you're not going to get to 6 stone, no way. If you did, you would barely be alive. And I'm not saying it's their fault, but I sort of think like, if girls actually like looked into it and realised, oh, not every weight is achievable, like being 4 stone, it's not going to happen. And I think it would really reassure people if they realised some people are just born really slim, some people have really fast metabolisms, and maybe they're not actually looking that way because they want to, it's because that's how they're made to be. And I just think that plays a huge role in what causes anorexia. Because if you see someone who's really thin and you're already insecure about your own body, it's natural to want to look like that. It's just not natural to actually do something to get yourself that way. It's fine to look at someone and go, oh, she's really slim, I like her body, but it's not fine to take it to the extreme and actually stop eating just to look like someone else. Because half the time you're not going to end up looking like that person anyway, because it's not, body image isn't like clothes. Like you can't like buy the same top as someone else and it will look the same. You can't like buy someone else's body. I'm not sure if this is making sense, but you can't just point out a random girl on the street and go, yeah, that's it, I want to be that size, and try and do it, because it's not going to work. So in the end, most people just end up destroying their bodies and it doesn't even turn out how they want it to. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest reasons. My second one is quite a weird one, and not many people would talk about this one, but I actually think that parents do have a huge role within what causes anorexia. Now, I don't have sisters, but I've heard this before, not loads, but I have heard this before, and I always sort of just imagine it. I can imagine like when people are at a dinner table at the family and they go like, oh, you have your mum's eyes, you have your dad's nose. I'm sure, and I know that this does happen, that there's always a slimmer sister or a taller sister. Say they're around the same age group, there's a thinner one and a taller one, and I sort of think parents, not in a purpose way, but they sort of make that obvious and say like, oh, you've got the longer legs, you're thinner. And although they might think it's harmful, a lot of girls will really get affected by that. Because it's not nice to know that your older sister is thinner than you and your parents are pointing it out. And again, they don't mean to do this, and obviously on their mind they're not going to be always be thinking, oh, if I say this my daughter's going to get anorexia. Fair enough, but I just think parents really need to sort of think about what they're saying to their kid. Like, it just really pisses me off, to be honest, because our generation is blamed so much for things that we've done, but then parents are sitting there telling their kids, like, who's thinner, who's prettier, who's got the nicest hair. Even things like having longer hair, it's quite rare again, but that can cause anorexia. If your parents always going on about your older sister saying, oh, she's got lovely hair, she's got the nicest, longest hair, you're going to feel insecure because your mum thinks that about your sister and she doesn't say anything about your hair. And in some cases, people really do get so insecure about what their parents say and they just turn to food, and that's when things go really bad. And it's also just, I just don't see how parents can be so dumb and oblivious. Like, I'm 14 and I can tell that that would take a big role in a teenage girl's life. And like, it's fucking 2013. Like, a girl's ate her own tampon this year, and parents think saying to their daughters, you're thinner, you're fatter, is not going to have an impact on them. It's just stupid, to be honest. Like, oh, there's 1.1 million people in the world. In the UK, sorry, in the UK with an eating disorder. There's 7 billion people in the world. That's 1 whole billion. That's an unbelievable number. It's not a rare thing. Anorexia is getting more and more common as we speak, and it's just the fact that parents think they can have this sort of attitude towards their kids and expect that statistic not to rise. So yeah, and also there has been cases where younger sisters want to be thinner like their older sister, and they copy everything they eat and everything they drink, and they end up with anorexia because that's not what they should be eating, what they should be drinking. If a girl is going through puberty, obviously she's going to be chubby because she's not fully grown, and if your older sister has finished puberty and she's petite and she's slim because that's she's finished, she's grown, that's how she's going to look. You're still in puberty, and this girl is eating everything her sister eats as a grown woman and trying to make herself look like her sister when she's not even done with puberty. I just think that's so sad how parents don't even realise that. Like, can you not tell that, like, your daughter's like eating the exact same as your other daughter just to look how she does? And I don't know, the whole parent thing, like, obviously not all parents are like it, but I just don't like the fact that all parents slate the generation just to do with teen pregnancies and eating disorders and self-harm and that, but then they don't really do anything to stop it, or even so sometimes they even cause it. See, that's the second one. The third one, which is quite common, is if you're a girl and you have low self-esteem, you're kind of more likely to get one. Like, I'm not saying every girl who has low self-esteem is going to end up with anorexia. It's not what I'm saying, but if you have really low self-esteem, little comments like you're fat, you're ugly, that's really gonna push you down that spiral. I mean, obviously a lot of girls are insecure. At this age, it's hard not to be, and it's hard not to care what people think, because you want to be someone's idea of perfect, and that doesn't include being fat or ugly. But it's just, girls do push themselves to the limit, and I think people sort of don't understand that. Like, I'm not making it out like I don't ever call anyone names, because I do, but I don't think I've used the word fat against someone for a very, very long time, because I just know what that little word can do to people. Not everyone will. Some people will brush it off, but some people really, that will stick in their mind all the time, and they'll think that every time they eat, and that's what causes anorexia. Also, obviously, bullying is really, really, really has an impact on anorexia, because if you're calling someone fat, then they're going to want to change that, aren't they? Right, I think that's about it. Obviously, like, some other rare ones are if you're abused by your parents or you're sexually abused, then that will sort of push you into an eating disorder, because you have no control of anything, you have no control of the abuse you're getting, so you need something to gain your control back, and that most of the time is food. Also, I just wanted to clear this up, it's not really part of the video, but I really just dislike, this is a bit of a rant, sorry, I really just dislike how on the internet anorexics are like displayed as stupid and things like that. But actually people with anorexia have the highest IQ out of any other mental illness, and this is because they become experts at hiding their food and tricking everyone and pretending that they're okay. And if you had an eating disorder, you wouldn't want anyone to know and stuff, so they become really, really clever in hiding what's actually going on with them, because they don't want anyone to know, because they don't want to stop losing weight. And I just hate that, how people like take the piss out of anorexics, like it's a mental illness that you're talking about. It just fucks me off so much. Just people are so sick like that. If their sister or mum or something got that, they would not be fucking saying the same thing. And it just really, really pisses me off. Also, I don't like how anorexia isn't taught enough in schools. Like, I think you have about 5 lessons on, well, I've had about 5 lessons on healthy eating in school, and the word eating disorder has come up about twice, and I just think that's so bad. Obviously I know it's a touchy subject and not everyone does need to learn about eating disorders, but I think it's important that people do, obviously in case they get one or if they have a friend that has one, and they should be aware of